I research the Chattanooga high dollar home market every single week. And that means homes that sold and what they actually sold for. I also look at homes that fell off, that were canceled, expired, or were withdrawn. And I also look at every active listing on the market. A few weeks ago, one listing in Chattanooga said it was priced below appraisal at 1.3 million and sold for 1.125. Same claim, $225,000 less than where they started. And I wanted to see if that was a one-off or a pattern, so I pulled every higher end listing that used that phrase. And guess what? You're going to see this phrase on some Chattanooga listings, priced below appraisal. And sometimes it says instant equity. It means the seller paid somebody to come look at the house and write down what they think it's worth. And now they're going to ask less than the appraised for value. It sounds like a deal, right? And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. And there's one thing on the listing that tells you which it is. I want you to think about a used car lot. A truck rolls onto the lot in October, and they look it up in the Blue Book. They put a sticker on the windshield that says book value 40,000, our price 36,000. And you believe it. It's a real truck, real discount. But now it's February and the same truck is on the same lot, but now there are more stickers on the glass. Now 36,500. Then it says 29,900 and then blowout 22,000. And in the corner, the old sticker still says book value 40,000. Does that 40,000 mean anything now? No. It just means that they were wrong in October. And I found 12 listings at 600,000 and up that were priced below appraisal, and it said so somewhere in their listing. Now, 5 of them said priced below appraisal from day one, and they never cut their price. 7 of them only added it after they had already cut. The day one group behaved like you would have hoped. Those 5 sold in 1 to 11 days for 97 to 100% of their asking price. The aftercuts group, those looked very different. Those 7 took 43 to 174 days to sell. And 2 of them only sold for 83% of their original asking price, including the one that started at 1.35 million and closed at 1.125. Same words on the sticker, but very different stories behind them. Now I have to be careful here. Those 5 fast sells, I don't think that it was the below appraisal that made them fast. About 7% of every house that sold here went for more than the asking price. And those sales took a median of about 3 days to sell. So priced right sells fast, and that's true whether the listing says anything about an appraisal or not. So the marketing really isn't doing the work. It's just telling you what kind of seller you're dealing with. On day one, it's a claim. The seller is saying, we had somebody come out, independent, and they looked at this, and I'm going to ask less. And you can't disprove it yet, and there's no reason to doubt it. But after 2 price cuts, that same sentence is an argument. The seller is telling you the market must be wrong. And the market has been answering that argument quietly for about 170 days. And that's not a deal, that is a disagreement that the seller is losing. And here's where it gets interesting. It's not that appraisals are bad. Lenders demand them in a lot of cases. When sellers use that same document privately to help them set the price, their homes are actually more likely to sell. I went back through a full year of every listing at 600,000 and above that either sold or came off the market without selling. When the square footage in the listing comes from an appraisal, about 74% of those homes end up sold. And when it doesn't, it's closer to 57%. Same piece of paper, used quietly in the background, it lines you up closer to what the market is demanding. But when the appraisal shows up later in the public remarks after price cuts, that flips. In this little group, those priced below listings were not more likely to sell above asking. They were often the ones still chasing the market down. Same paper, two uses, very different results. So when you see it, you need to ask two things. How many days has this house been listed? And is the price today the same as the price as when it started? If it's been up a week and the price hasn't moved, the sentence probably means what it says. But if it's been up for 4 months and the price has dropped twice, the sentence is doing a different kind of job. And one honest note here, that's just 12 houses. It's enough to see kind of the way this might usually go, but not enough to promise you a hard and fast rule. So just use it as something to note when asking your agent about homes you're interested in. I'll tell you again whether or not this is a rule in about 6 to 8 months when I have a little bit more data to look at. I'm Kelly Bridenstine with Broadstone Media and also licensed with eXp Realty in Tennessee and Georgia. And every week I pull every listing from 600,000 and above all around Chattanooga. And for this one, I went back through a full year of outcomes, what sold and what didn't. And if you want your short list run against this kind of data, the Broadstone Relocation Diagnostic is linked below. And this is a general market information. It's not advice on any specific house. And filling out the diagnostic doesn't create any kind of agency relationship between you and I. I only ever discuss specific offers and negotiations with clients who sign with me. And representation is a separate conversation, but only if you ask for it. I'm Kelly Bridenstine, and this is Chattanooga's Luxury Market Report.